The hardest I ever worked was on the riverfront cruise ships. What would happen was the buses would pull up. Sometimes they'd be a half hour early. And the crew would say, "We're not ready for them yet. We can't put them on board." I said, "You can't make them wait sitting on the bus. They'll be cranky." I figured, what could I do? So I went on a bus and I told jokes for a half hour while they were waiting to go on board. Next thing you know, they would put them on a gangplank. Now they were on a gangplank for 20 minutes. I said, they can't be waiting out there in the cold. So I did another half hour worth of jokes while they were on the gangplank. Now, they would go on ship and the chef would say, "The food's not ready, can you keep them amused?" So I'd go table to table as the chef with the rubber chicken saying the food's not ready and do another half hour worth of jokes. Now I've done an hour and a half worth of jokes and the show didn't even start yet. Now the show was Eddie Davis singing a song, and then I would come on and do some jokes, and then Lee Elliott would come on and sing some more. And what would happen is, it was easy as long as we only had to do one show. But if we had to do a show on the bottom deck and the top deck, the most important part was the steps, because one of us would stand on the steps, Eddie would start the show on the first deck, Lee would start the show on the second deck, I'd be on the steps. Whoever finished first, I would jump in, they would stand on the steps. Whoever finished next, they would jump in, and somehow we did two shows simultaneously without ever letting there be a gap in the show. How we did it, I don't know. Okay, now, we were there for a year, and I'll tell you why. The previous entertainer had only been a keyboard guy. People would get up and walk out and go on the deck and watch the scenery go by. But with us, people would stay there and watch the whole show and never go on the observation deck. So somebody figured out that if they're not going on the observation deck, we don't have to be moving. So we'd go out for 15 minutes, cut the engines, float for 2 hours, 15 minutes, come back in. They saved a fortune on fuel.